story. It might shock you actually, chums, because I'm going to say something rather radical in this particular situation. I know. Prepare yourselves. I know, no, brace yourselves. Yes, because this story regarding a very well-known bakery over here in the United Kingdom, Greggs the Bakers. Well, suddenly, guess what? Once again, they're blaming the current Chancellor of the Exchequer, Rachel Reeves, for the hike in prices. But how true is it? As ever, let me explain. Morning, nice to see you, chums. Thank you so much for joining me today. Welcome, one and all, brand new subscribers. Nice to see you. It's a sort of treat if you've been over here in the United Kingdom that you like, you know. It's a sort of an emporium of things like sausage rolls, pasties, those beautiful delicatessen sort of things, you know, the donuts, everything. It's a snack that you go to because it used to be a reasonable price. Oh, yes. Even the pop superstar and Broadway diva, Nicole Scherzinger, did her stint in a Greggs once, well, a couple of minutes at least, for a TV programme. Now, what's interesting is Greggs have over 2,000 plus stores up and down the United Kingdom. And this was a family-based bakers up from the delightful area, I believe, of Newcastle. And they did very well, then got bought out and the usual thing happened. And consequently, they're now a power force. You know, they have their own clothing range, social media activity, all of that sort of stuff. What's interesting though is that suddenly now they tell you that they've got to put up the prices of the products once again, although apparently their famous sausage roll will remain at £1.30. How true is that? Well, they're citing the national insurance increases regarding Rachel Reeves's budget. Now, I'm sure that has, you know, a knock-on effect at certain points. But here's what I noticed as I travel up and down the United Kingdom. And, you know, Greggs have expanded incredibly well, including a superstore in the very heart of Leicester Square, London, 24 hours, I believe. An incredible sort of place where, you know, if you've been out clubbing or to the theatre, you might get that tasty snack on the way back to the tube. That's if you've still got your mobile phone to pay with it. You get the picture. But on a more serious note, I would suggest that actually Greggs are probably being a little bit fanciful. Simply because, as I say, when you're in the north of England, for instance, there's a radical price difference to the pricing down south. And also, if you buy inside a London tube station, it's far more expensive. Naturally, it has to be because rent and rates, electric and everything, it tends to be more expensive. But that's not really about national insurance. You know, when you go into these stores, and it's fascinating when you look at the level of personnel. There's normally one person reheating the things in the ovens at the back and one person serving. And I have to say, on a personal level, every time I've been in, the stores don't exactly look thrillingly clean, if you get the picture. And I'm not knocking the brand, they've done incredibly well, and of course they're favourites of many. And maybe that's just one or two of the stores that I've personally seen, but you have to speak for your own personal experience. One might suggest, of course, that in this cost of living crisis and the ongoing battle with the government, and the fact that Rachel Reeves, as many people know, doesn't really know her own CV, it's a rather opportune moment once again to put the increases up on the brands just around the time of the budget. But do not forget that just under a year ago now, they signed up at great expense the TV celebrity chef Nigella Lawson to famously promote Greggs, their brand, their Christmas festive offering. Do you remember that? I never quite was sure that Nigella actually bit into the brand. It did seem a little bit sort of, you know, it was never convincing in my world. So, as I say, I'm not defending the government, but you have to look at the fact that all of these brands look at the bigger picture and think, let's lump it on there, the people will believe it, and consequently, well, you and I, if you like them, will end up paying. The thing is, will you? As we're all battling a cost of living crisis, a treat, say at the tube or indeed on the high street, sometimes is just a cost too many. And maybe Greggs might find that they're not the nation's favourite that they first thought. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.